Hello, hello. Can you all hear me? Rebel, are you there?
I most certainly am, Naomi. How are you? You okay?
Yeah, good. I'm so glad we had a power outage earlier. So I'm glad that I've got power and everything is rolling.
Awesome. I'll be with you 2 minutes. I'm just pouring my cup of tea now, and then I'm ready to go. So you just give me 1 minute, and then we can sit down. I'm really looking forward to our chat.
Oh, yeah, enjoy. I love that. I need a cup of tea too. That sounds great.
I'll put the kettle
I
on
just,
for you then as well.
yeah, great. Oh man, I'll get some bickies or some treats and we'll have a nice little time. I just want to say hello to my friends who are here. Maximilian's here and Carol Ann Danner's here. I want to shout out to you. It's been so awesome. You were such a just so cool to like a pillar in the space and then to actually meet you in real life. I mean, that's one of the coolest things I think about connecting like using the tools correctly. And I think one of the coolest things about the technological world is the ability to connect and then to bring that into the human in real life thing is incredible. And Scarce City's here too, which is awesome. Bit of exciting stuff going on there. And then, yeah, Frederick's here and Itakawa. I don't know if I've met you, but it's awesome that you're here. So shout out to all of you. Maximilian, another just bright star, so talented, beautiful, and um, true. So, hooray! Let the games begin.
Yes, let's get this show on the road, shall we? Okay. So, according to the time chain calendar, which is a great place for you to check the block height, and has lots of amazing artists on there. It's 866740. You are listening to the one and only Art of Freedom, the premier and probably the only Bitcoin art show around at the moment. Thank you so much for everyone for joining us here on Monday evenings in here where I am in Wales. It might be slightly earlier in the day where you are, so you can listen to the stories of all the incredible artists in the space in this amazing revolution that we call Bitcoin art. I'm going to say, sadly, this evening, Flo may or may not be joining us. She's had a bit of a family emergency, and she's had to go and deal with that. So she may join us, she may not. But she sends her best wishes, and we also send lots of love your way, Flo. So I hope you are okay. Before we kick off the show, just a few quick announcements. Just really advertising some amazing Bitcoin events that are coming up. So, first thing we've got is the Bitcoin event in London. I believe our friends of the 2140 crew are putting on, and 2140 crew are. Uh, Keen supporters of this space, and at the same time they're just really punk, and I've got a big love for what they do. They're putting on a whole load of events in early or late October, early November. So if you're around there, please go and check that out. And there's lots of art available as well as parties. And if you like dancing, you'll definitely like that whole event. So big shout out to them. Secondly, we have then the El Salvador event that's coming up as well. I know a lot of artists here that are in the room are going to be showing at Fractal Encrypt's gallery, which is I believe on the 14th of November. Around that period in El Salvador with adopting Bitcoin. That's going to be amazing as well. So keep your eyes open for that. If you're going, I'm jealous. If you're not, like me, you'll be watching it from afar, I'm sure. And that's be really exciting. And last but not least, shameless self plug, on the 16th of November in Bristol, I'll be doing a talk on Bitcoin art at a mini UK conference event, and there'll be a small art gallery there. If any Bitcoin artist would like any art at my very small curated wall that I'm going to have at the event, please get in touch with me. I'd love to have it there. I'm gonna try and prioritize UK artists simply because it's just going to be easier to get the art there. But if you're actually hell bent on getting something on the wall for that day, then I'll make it happen. So, because getting the word out there is what we do. Okay, right. With all those announcements out the way, I'd really like to now uh, welcome our guest this evening. You haven't come here to listen to me. You've come here to find out about amazing stories of Bitcoin artists. And this is a Bitcoin artist I've wanted to talk to for such a while, and I was gutted because I didn't really talk to her at the Nashville event, but she was around. She was with Ariel. Ariel was like, "Oh man, you got to check." You got to check Naomi stuff out, and I did check her work out, but I didn't meet her in person. So this is my first um, kind of again dive into her kind of world, um, and really excited to invite Naomi, or I should say, C is Medicine or BTC Aloha, to the show. Naomi, you are full of energy, and this is wonderful. How are you doing this evening?
Thank you so much for having me. And yes, I we will meet in person one day, I'm sure. And I do regret too we didn't have a chance to talk. But yeah, I mean it's amazing, right? That was event, so many people. It's really hard to do. But yeah, I really appreciate this. I appreciate what you're doing and the support for all the arts and the artists in the Bitcoin space. Super cool. Also, Flo, I'm sending her so much love and hope that everything goes smoothly. But I was excited to talk to her about Chile because I have actually been there and it is a gorgeous country. Um, and they have some incredible waves there. So, anyway, Flo, we will talk hopefully soon.
She does send her best regards, and yes, we'll get you back in the future as well. You know, a lot of the guests that we've had on here, the art of freedom is not. We're here for a good time, but we're also here for a long time as well. So Bitcoin art isn't going away, and neither are we. So we'll definitely get you on, and we are sending a lot of love to Flo, and I'll pass that on to a message to her as well when I message her later. So, Naomi, let's talk a little bit about you. You've got a really interesting. I love your kind of take on Bitcoin art and the Bitcoin philosophy, which, from my perspective, is combining kind of Bitcoin and your love of the sea. So, can you tell me where these two worlds kind of met and how it kind of all came together?
Yes. Well, um, gosh, I've been doing art my whole life. I mean, that's really what I've been is an artist my entire life. And I mean, I've actually like mentored and apprenticeshiped. However, I was so enamored with the ocean and living by the sea when I was young. I did not grow up by the ocean. So I, read about it, heard about it through media, through books, through magazines, through music, and I had some relatives who lived in California. So the first time I saw the ocean was at 13, and it was just I knew I had to get there and have the ocean lifestyle, the beach life, and I did finally make it out there in my 20s, and I have pretty much um, maintained that ocean lifestyle. I've had
Naomi, I think I've lost you. Either that or I've lost the room. Um, can you can you shout out if you can hear me or wave if you can hear me? I think Naomi's gone off for a bit. She may have caught a good wave. and that's brilliant. And getting carried away talking about the sea, and that's fantastic. Just a reminder, you're listening to the Art of Freedom here on on Spaces. It's the Monday evening show. Just want to say thank you everyone for waving, and appreciate that you can hear me over there. Would just want to say that if anyone wants to ask Naomi a question, or me a question at the moment because Naomi's currently unavailable, then you're more than welcome to join as a speaker, and uh, and then we'll get you on asking questions. If you're kind of feeling a bit shy, you can also then just put in the bottom right hand corner, you can post your questions and we'll read them out as best as possible. So I'm just going to see what's happening with Naomi at the moment. Hope she's okay. And we'll continue uh, to to get the show on the road. Here, right? Okay, she's back. Here we go. So we'll get her back in. Thank you all for bearing with us. Technology is wonderful. Okay, Naomi, I think you're on again.
That's oh, the joys of um, this technological world. Anyway, so what brought me to Bitcoin was I was doing all this, like freedom inspired ocean artwork. And then I realized, like, well, this really ties into Bitcoin. And so then I just sort of went full on into the Bitcoin because I realized that it was all related and that's what it was about. So, yeah, that's
So how did you relate? Sorry, how did you relate the sea to Bitcoin, and I guess the living around the sea to Bitcoin?
well through freedom, and the sea is basically the ocean's for everyone, right? Like, and same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin's for everyone, and I think it can be, it's what you make of it, and it can be a tool for freedom, and I think the ocean for me is a tool uh, for experiencing wholeness, and it's a tool for freedom as well. So yeah, so that's how they tie together.
I do love being by the sea. It's one of my favorite places on planet Earth. And I think when you just stare out at the horizon when you're sat on the beach, you have this unparalleled sense of freedom, like there's an adventure over the water and something really exciting. So I really 100% kind of agree with you on that. And it has a very calming effect on me. I don't know about you. You have a bit of a mixture of both because I think you're a keen surfer as well, as also chilling by the beach. Am I correct?
Yes, I love surfing. Um, I It's something I'm passionate about, and I think also that's a real something about it really makes you feel free. So, and connected, and I think that's sort of like the ocean has waves, Bitcoin goes up and down. There's volatility. I mean, I think there's a lot of similarities. Um, so yeah, it's kind of I mean, I guess not everybody's an ocean person. I mean, there's a lot of like mountain people, and I totally appreciate that, respect that. But we are made up of almost all. I mean, there's a heavily amount of water, right? Like we're made up of water. So I think there's something about how we gravitate to the ocean and to the coasts.
Yeah, definitely. I think, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm just at my calmest there. I think there is that, and we did come from the seas, if you believe in the kind of whole evolution thing initially. So going back to that, and kind of like the surfing experience, I did a lot of surfing when I was out in. I did a period in Australia, and it was one of the best times of my life. I kind of jump on the bus, from Queensland, and then just head out to the coast with my surfboard on the bus, and it was like a couple of dollars to get to there, enjoy the whole day out, and then go home at the end of it. So you do you regularly surf around your part, and I believe you're in Mexico at the moment.
Yeah, I'm on the coast of Mexico, and I do get out there when I can. I also swim and paddleboard, and I mean I love to sail. I love pretty much all water sports. So like this morning I went out and swam. Because it's the waves aren't happening all the time. And I also am a lot more tame than I used to be. Um, so I'm not chasing big waves anymore. I mean, it doesn't have to be the biggest or perfect or anything. I like to just go out and have fun. And in fact, I'm actually trying to learn how to walk my longboard at the moment.
That is awesome. That sounds so good. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I got dumped so many times, and it was like being in a giant washing machine when I was doing, and I wasn't even going after big waves. So I can imagine like if a competent surfer in Mexico going after the big waves there. But yeah, like I appreciate as I'm slowly getting older now as well, Naomi. I'm appreciating just the slower parts of life, the low time preference, I should say, um, and just kind of going forward with that. And I'd love to be able to walk on a longboard. That sounds amazing.
I know, right? It's super fun. I was a shortboarder. I lived many years in Hawaii, and I got my taste I got to I got to feel fear in my heart as I man against nature, like, whoa, this swell keeps getting bigger and I'm still out here. How am I gonna get I either have to catch a wave or like you have to catch a wave, you have to get in. Anyway, yeah, so those days I'm with you. I want to slow down. I enjoy my cup of tea. Yeah, it's different times. I think that's important. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot of the whole surf culture, skate culture. I kind of grew up with that too, and yeah, it's kind of fun to tie it into Bitcoin because I think there's a lot of you know crossovers there.
I think so. I think with skate culture, surf culture, it's kind of it's a counterculture, isn't it? And it's also a well, particularly kind of skateboarding. It was kind of driven by this by the outsiders. Wasn't necessarily you could argue it the freaks of society or the people that didn't quite fit in, and they joined this counterculture that was jumping on, you know, at its core, jumping on a plank of wood, and riding it and having a great time with it. So do you think that's the reason why you were kind of drawn to Bitcoin? Is because of that kind of rebellious counterculture as a youth?
For sure. I mean, yeah, like making money and profiting and all that stuff is great. And yeah, I would love to make money. However, what really drew me to it was like this peer to peer cash, like this possibility for something different and for the counterculture. Like, wow, wait, this it's a possibility to experience, yeah, counterculture, to create your own system, create your own society. And I think that's what's so exciting to me about Bitcoin is that we can really make it whatever we want it, and it's so like we're so conditioned and we're always putting on what we know onto everything else. Like this whole simulation we're in and learning, we're all so conditioned, and we have media of the minute we're born, we're inundated and we're told how to be and told what to do or whatever. And like Bitcoin is just Bitcoin, right? It's really what we do with it. And it's really an opportunity to step outside of our conditioning and everything. It is really, we can really make something new and something different. But however, it's hard, right? It's a challenge. So, yeah, I definitely resonate with um, the possibilities that technology of Bitcoin provides.
I think the counterculture is there's the clue is in the name, a counterculture, and if we're using our ocean slash kind of surfing analogy, we're kind of swimming. We are swimming against the tide in the sense that we're doing something completely different. But I also find that as a Bitcoin artist, a Bitcoiner and a Bitcoin artist, the most exciting thing about it, and I think that's exactly that's exactly what makes it amazing, is that we do have the chance now, as Bitcoin artists in particular, to not only kind of document the culture that's around us, but also shape it. At the moment, we are just the wave hasn't really, fully formed yet. We are just kind of at the point where it's just slowly building, and we have this opportunity then to shape it in the way we want the future to kind of look like and what it represents for us.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I really like in my work, it's at least my collage work. I mean, I have a whole photographer side too, and that's much more, I guess, more deeper. However, I really love the symbology, right? And using Bitcoin and using the Bitcoin symbol. I use that a lot and overdo it. But however, I think that it's, I mean, it's important, I think, and it's part of, um, it's what I'm making. You know, I actually like to use symbols and like iconic imagery um and the whole surf culture. It's it talks to it talks to the conditioned parts of us, and then hopefully inspires or ceaspires something else, right? A different possibility.
And I love your use of language as well, like you just hit on there. So ceaspiring, and and it's worth kind of segue into the kind of the first piece that I saw of your art, which was the See Her Rise piece, which was on display in its full glory in Nashville, and I believe is still in Nashville as well, at the Bitcoin Art Museum. Can you just talk a little bit, just kind of briefly talk about the piece, what it? I know it's tough as an audio medium here. What I'll do is I'll put a link at the bottom, but just roughly talk about the piece and kind of what inspired you to make it and its different components.
Yeah. So, all my collage usually has some sort of phrase or a little poem or a mantra. And I do with my art, probably try to put some ideas across about, usually positivity and wonder and the power that we all have individually. Um, like, I do want my work to be ceaspiring. I mean, truly, that is why I make art. Um, and so this was a phoenix rising metaphor, right? You know, life is so unpredictable, and we go through waves, right? There's ebbs and flows, and there's crises, and there's bliss, and there's all of that. And I've been through a lot in my life, and this was sort of um, kind of an ode to the ocean and Bitcoin, and how they have been these strengths in my life to rise above, and opportunities to be empowered. So that's what this collage is about. And I think it's fun too to bring um, like the feminine energy into the Bitcoin space as well.
I completely agree with that. I I'm really all for more women getting into Bitcoin as much as possible. And we see at the Nashville conference there, it's a great example. Just to say this to there was a queue for the men's toilets. There was not a queue for the ladies' toilets, and that's the only place I think I've ever been that is the case. And we do need to. There is a lot of this. I suppose you could say masculine kind of imagery in Bitcoin, and having that kind of feminine aspect in with it definitely is very refreshing and different as well, and also needs to be reminded. So what do you think we can do in order to get more women involved into Bitcoin?
Well, women, we support our sisters, right? We help each other out and teach and learn and educate. I mean, I think I'm here because of the sisters in Bitcoin and because of the women that are in Bitcoin. So it's just it's just a matter of time. And I think too the more the hyper Bitcoinization that's happening anyway. I mean, we're all curious, we're all getting into it. And yeah, uh it's just time. But I think more and more women are getting into it and are aware. And um I mean, I'm not a huge feminist or anything. I'm just a woman and I'm speaking from my experience, right? And I want to share that. And I think also it is for everyone, right? It doesn't matter who or what you are. It's like it's 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 sovereign. It's for your sovereignty.
It is absolutely there for everyone. I was just basically fishing for tips so I could try and orange pill my girlfriend more, to be honest with you. If anyone in the room as well or anyone has any tips on that would be great. I'm trying my best. Um,
Oh, I was gonna say, well, so that's kind of part of why I'm doing the clothes, right? Because I made these like beautiful Bitcoin clothes. So I'm working on that. And I think that's a way too, right? It's like speaking to the feminine, speaking to the woman, speaking to them, right? It's like we have to, it's like advertising, right? We're always speaking different languages to different markets. So it's just, you know, by default, a lot of men got to Bitcoin first. And so they've been speaking their language. But the more women that get involved, the more they're speaking from their perspective, and the more other women are attracted to that and will speak from their perspective. So yeah. But anyway, that's I try to make my things somewhat accessible to the uninitiated, I guess.
yeah, I think it's really cool pieces. I'm just on your site at the moment now. You should go and check it out. If you're unsure how to get there, there's a link in the bottom right hand corner on the messages, and that's the btaloha.shop. And you should definitely head over there where you got art by Sears Medicine on there, as well as some of these really cool, amazing clothes that are in the shop. Let's talk a little bit around the kind of um, the fashion in Bitcoin that seems to be coming around a lot more now. I know that you're obviously doing some amazing things in the space there. We've also got 21 million, who was very fortunate to meet at Bitcoin Amsterdam, and he's doing some cool things with um, his particular brand, and there's others as well. Proof of Ink has put some t-shirts out, etc. Do you see it as just kind of a natural progression for artists to kind of to design clothes and for the Bitcoin space?
Yeah, I mean, I've always loved clothes and design, and it's just a natural spin-off. And also what inspired it for me though was that I get really tired of the t-shirts and hoodies and all the swag all the swag and stuff. And then um the a lot of the clothes and stuff, a lot of drop ship and things is polyester. And so the fabric is, I don't know. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I just like other stuff. I just like, I like cotton and silk and linen and natural fibers and different cuts and quality. So I just thought, okay, well, let's go with this. And I mean, you can't go wrong with Aloha shirts. I am trying to actually kind of refocus on the Aloha shirts. I have a tendency to just um, go in a billion different directions and just create and create. And sometimes I need to be a little more focused, especially for my branding. Um, However, little by little, but yeah, but really it stemmed out of my desire for um other options, because I don't know, I don't wear that many t-shirts and hoodies. um so yeah.
I'm just on there now looking at the Aloha shirts, and they're awesome. They are loud, and I love it. I'm here for it. And yes, I'm loving like the wave designs on there. They're really cool, and you've chosen them 100% cotton, organic cotton as well. What's the reason behind that? Is it just kind of does it keep you cooler and does it last longer?
Yeah, it's just higher quality and allows your skin to breathe. That's the thing with natural fibers, is that it's just, I don't know, I personally, it just feels better to me. I mean, I am usually in hotter climates, so I guess I'm a little slanted with my opinion about it. But I mean, some people don't even notice the difference or care. However, there are people who do notice a difference, and I'm one of them. And so I wanted to have fun things that I would wear, and hopefully other people will find them fun. I mean, I lived in Hawaii for a long time too, and I just love the Aloha shirt. And I just love the idea of like these patterns. It brings a lot of, it's energy, right? It's energetic, right? I mean, if you show up and you're all in, white weddings, black funerals, right? It's like there's we part of how we express ourselves is through our clothes. And um yeah, I just wanted to create some fun things. So I'm kind of going to go hard, I think, with the Bitcoin surfer print. That's the most popular, and I think it's pretty fun. And and these clothes too, it's like you don't really know that it's Bitcoin clothes right at first until you get up close, and then you realize like, oh, there's a Bitcoin surfer. So that's kind of fun too. And same with the hodl shirt. It's like, oh, that's kind of a neat wave design, and then you get closer and you see like there's a hodl, but nobody would know unless you're a Bitcoiner.
Having that kind of OPSEC on the beach, so not only are you not only are you looking amazing, you've got incredible style. You're feeling cool because you're in organic cotton, but then you're also representing Bitcoin as well at the same time. I think they're really cool designs. I really like them. I think in particular, I was just like perhaps the not as OPSEC designs as well, but the kind of ride the wave board shorts. They're incredible. They're for the people that are just if you're heading out to El Salvador. Um, they're definitely the shorts that you want. There's just giant Bitcoin B on them, and they're really really cool. You're listening to the Art of Freedom here on Monday nights. It's just Rebel here tonight. Hope you're having a wonderful day slash evening. We've got C is Medicine Naomi here. BTC Aloha. I don't know which one I got to pick there, Naomi, but I'm just gonna go with C is Medicine for the moment. And she's here on the show, and we're here talking about her art and her story as well. So it's always a pleasure. If you do want to join in at any particular point, you can uh, just ask to join and speak. And if you have any questions for me and Naomi, we're happy to answer them. And if not, if you're feeling a bit shy, which is all fair enough, you can just send a message in the bottom right hand corner there, and we will do our best to then get back to you. So yes, so the actual clothes there are amazing, and I'd quite happily wear one of these in Wales. I'm going to say, it's I could probably only wear it for 2 weeks of the year here. When are you making like full on you jumpers and jackets? Because that would be great.
Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll get there. But for now, I mean, I'm trying to hey, I'm trying to stay focused in branding here with my beachwear and the whole Bitcoin BTC Aloha thing. It's hard enough with all my different names. Um, but yeah, it's a possibility, right? I think we'll branch off into the winter season. Um, anyway, but for now, right? Like one step at a time.
That's fine. If you want me to get a photograph of me on a paddleboard stood in a muddy river, and then you want to put and you want to put it on a towel, I'm all for that. And you can I'm you can use me as a model, Naomi. I'm more than happy for that. It might put people off your brand. That is the only bad thing. Um, but it's again maybe diversifying the market a little bit, for those who are jealous of the kind of the sea life that you're living at the moment.
Oh, well, thank you. I might take you up on that offer. Actually, I would love to see more of my artist friends. I kind of actually had an idea, like, yeah, if anybody's interested, I can, maybe do like a discount deal for some pictures or reviews and stuff because I just started out, so I need help. And I was thinking like it would be great because I want to see my friends and the Bitcoin artists and the community out there wearing these clothes and rocking life. And yeah, anyway, um, yeah, get in touch.
I'm happy to wear them. It's great. I just don't think people would be happy to wear me, so to speak. I think that would be a step a step too far, but we can definitely sort something out. Just going back to your art as well. So you've obviously got the see her rise pieces as well, but you've actually got like a really large collection of um, works. Where did the kind of collage kind of style? Where did that kind of your influences for that did they come from?
Influences for my collage. I mean, I have been making collage for my whole life. I think it's a way of me putting things together and getting a sense of like, okay, I can make sense of this crazy world, or okay, I can make sense of this total matrix, or I can make sense of something. Um, and I think they're a kind of a reminder too that you can create your world. You can create your dreams. You can create whatever you want out of scraps, basically. Like, I mean, that's sort of something that I used to do a long time ago. I would make these tiny, like, matchbook collages and things like that. It would just be from papers, scraps of paper I found, or like candy wrappers or whatever. I mean, it's just so accessible, right? Just paper. So I find that really powerful. So my collages are kind of about that. And then I also, like I said, I like to put an inspiration, something in the collage so that when sometimes they're reminders to myself, or hopefully somebody will see them and kind of feel like inspired, or go, aha, or oh, or I don't know, find something neat about it.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of them, like the freedom, speed, style, evolution, Bitcoin. Um, it's inspiring. Like there's lots of words on there that kind of inspirational, like freedom, independence, evolution. Um, if you had to kind of pick a word that described Bitcoin, what would it be?
I mean, for me, freedom, right? Everything for me has been about freedom, I think. Um, yeah.
It is the that's the reason we called this the art of freedom. That's for certain. There is no greater thing that has come from Bitcoin, in my opinion, for us as human beings to kind of operate, peer to peer, operate with less surveillance, and in a way that we can do without kind of a centralized kind of identity. And I think it kind of brings us back more to nature. And I think that's kind of where I think your art really shines, Naomi. I think um, it's harking back to what we are as human beings, and not even necessarily simpler times, but kind of the raw essence of what we are as human beings, which is closer to nature. And I think in the modern era, I think we're probably as far away from nature as we possibly can be, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100% I would agree. And I think that there's actually a lot of, how do I say that? The systems that have been put in place have purposely been disconnecting us from nature and from our true nature. So I think, especially as artists and counterculture, it's sort of our gift and our power to be able to keep that thread alive of that soul, of that spirit, of that creative energy, and what makes us human, what makes us who we are, that freedom, that beingness. So I think that's our superpower. So yeah.
I think I think you're right there, and that's what I love about Bitcoin, etc. It does. I found, I don't know about you, but probably you're quite close to nature anyway. But I've, even through Bitcoin, I've definitely started thinking more kind of spiritually, in that sense that I don't think Bitcoin is kind of like an accident. I think it's tied to kind of the forces of nature, and with all the things that are happening in this world, I almost think it's like the Gaia effect, where the kind of world is kicking back against some of the people that perhaps taking advantage of it, uh, and that Bitcoin is this kind of force. Is this almost, you could argue, like the counter culture in nature or economics, to kind of counterbalance it and bring us back to kind of a bit more of a sane existence. I don't know. That maybe, sorry, that was a bit of a monologue there, but me just thinking out loud. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm on board for sure. I was actually out in the water thinking about sats, and I was thinking about Sanskrit. I've been thinking about sound and vibration a lot lately, being in the water. And I was like, I think sat in Sanskrit has something to do with truth, which I was like, oh wow. I was like starting to kind of go down the, you know, but yeah, I mean, I think there's so much there. And I think I totally get where you're coming from. What I wanted to share too is that, like, I think for me, getting back to the wild, getting back to nature was super important. I actually, what kind of got me, I mean, as an artist, it's like so many waves of ups and downs, and how to figure out how to be in this matrix and survive. And I don't know. Anyway, I did have like this crisis, and I was basically near death, and I had a surgery, and then all of a sudden I had my life back. I mean, it's a little bit different. I live with a pouch. Things are different. However, it gave me my whole life back, and I didn't have to be on drugs or anything anymore. And that was that's when I really started going down the Bitcoin rabbit hole. And that, even though I had heard about it a couple years before, but I just, was just trying so hard to figure out this, living in this world that I don't totally understand, and I don't agree with. And so that happened, and then that got me down back into the Bitcoin rabbit hole, and then that's kind of like what I kind of had a creative reawakening, and that's what really got me in this trajectory. And that's why I also ended up in Mexico, because I was like, okay, I have got to start living. This is my second chance to live. Like, I have got to live by my values. Like, I have got to change my life, and I am going to go back to the dirt. I want to see kids playing in the street. I want to see, like, dirt on the side of the road. I want to see weeds growing. I want to, like, be by the wild ocean. I want to be able to have a fire on the beach. It's like, so that's what really, I don't know. Yeah, like, I had this second awakening, which I'm really grateful for. And I think a lot of us have been through what's going on in the world, right? And I think, yeah, I think Bitcoin can totally be part of that, right? Um, as this tool.
That's truly inspirational, and that I think that's what Bitcoin does offer. Um, I don't know much about your story there, and you more than obviously share what you feel you need to. Um, Speaking from a personal experience, I've had two kind of awakenings. I was a 9 to 5 person, ground into the ground by society and kind of working life, and um, yeah, all the bastards there. Found art and then found Bitcoin. So that it was kind of like the double whammy, and that got me from a state of, to be perfectly frank, not wanting to live life at all, to this point where I'm just absolutely, every day I wake up, I create something cool, and I have hope for the future because of Bitcoin. I don't know how, if that if you can kind of relate to that. So it sounds like you can, and is if your story is similar.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could 100% relate. I mean, that's why I was saying, like, yeah, I don't necessarily think you're too far off. I mean, I think this Bitcoin can be part of nature and part of the natural world that maybe we don't understand yet, and maybe that's okay. I think we don't have to understand everything. Um and Yeah, so I think it's totally possible. I think it's given a lot of people, um like, kind of what I was trying to say in the beginning. It's really what we make of it. It's like, all of a sudden, you know we don't need these other systems. We don't need, like, we have this technology. It's just going. It's a freight train. You either climb aboard and discover something new, or just stay happy, like, whatever, stay where you are. I don't know. I always have sought adventure and something different. I mean, I've just always felt in my bones as a child. I mean, I even remember like, as a child, just standing around being like, what the hell? What's going on? This isn't. what the heck is this? This can't be all, It's like it's got to be something different. So, yeah, I really when I did finally um have a moment, I and read the white paper and stuff, I was like, "Oh my yeah, aha, hello." Yes.
Yes, it's finally something that makes sense, isn't it? It's crazy, and I think sometimes that some of the systems are in place to kind of pull the wool over our eyes and to make life more difficult than it actually is. And it's kept that way for a purpose. But hey, that's just me and my tin hat on. So, but it's definitely good to hear that, and definitely since discovering Bitcoin in a very similar place to where you are, which is thinking about really what matters in life. So, um, and it could, I'm not, talking about the grand things, just simple things, the relationships that you have, the food that you eat, the lifestyle that you lead, your community, etc. I think it definitely, as for me personally, it kind of definitely hit those hit me hard there, and I'm extremely grateful for that, and also meeting incredible people along the way as well in this journey, which is awesome. Which I get to do every Monday night, which I'm really blessed about. I mean, cool people like yourself, and so many other people that are in the room at the moment that I can call true friends. So it is an absolutely incredible journey, Bitcoin, and yeah, I don't even know where I'm going with that. To be honest with you, Naomi, I'm not doing a great job as a host tonight. I got to be honest.
Oh, you're doing great, Rebel. It's fun and so happy that you do this to talk, to give us a platform and to connect the community, and that's what makes it stronger. So, yeah, props to you. I was gonna say, Bitcoin actually has value, right? We get thrown into a system that doesn't have any value, right? So it's like we spend our whole lives trying to figure out, like, am I valuable? Do I have value? And so all of a sudden, it's like Bitcoin is actually based in value. So when you start to get into that, it shifts everything, because you realize, like, oh, well, and then it's also like, okay, well, this is my time to stand up and live by value, and discover your values, discover your value, and treat other people with value. You actually want to treat other people with value, because you're not so, like, freaking out all the time, and trying to one up the other person. It's like all of a sudden everything is like value and time, and everything is moving upward, and it's just a whole different paradigm. So I think, yeah, I mean, that's what's exciting. And that's, I think, also why there's just so much wonderful art coming out and bringing us kind of back. It's bringing us back to ourselves, and back to, like, the source, and back to who we are, and to be able to really experience in life in all its glory, and experience ourselves in the absolute power that we are, right? Like, we have so much power, and capability, like, beyond our day to day, and we just haven't had the space or time to do that. And Bitcoin can actually shift the whole paradigm so that we can start to access that power.
Naomi dropping huge bombs there. That is superb. I love that. That was absolutely awesome, and I agree. And I think, yeah, it definitely gives you more time, or will give you more time, and then you can do some rebellious stuff. And if anyone's thinking in the audience who's thinking, oh, should I make some art? Make some art. Join a great community of people who, I'd like to think we lift each other up in the Bitcoin art community a lot, and encourage each other to push forward, discover more about the world, and discover more about yourself at the same time. And yeah, it's the most exciting place to be. I completely agree with you there, Naomi. We're heading into the last 4 minutes. How quick is this hour gone? So if anyone wants to have a chat with Naomi or me, this is it now. This is your last chance. You can either pop on mic and you can have a question. You've had your hour. And or you can put a comment in the bottom right hand corner and we'll read it out. So Naomi, as our chat, which seemed like 5 minutes, is coming to an end now. Tell me a little bit more about what you're hoping for in the future in terms of your art, and then Bitcoin, and beyond.
Yes. Well, I have since Scarcity is right here, I want to just say something really quickly about Pepe because I just finally figured out XCP after like I don't know how many years I've been I don't know. I kind of went backwards way, but I finally figured XCP out, Counterparty, and they're actually having a renaissance too. They just have launched a whole new platform and it's really much more user friendly and super cool. Anyway, I finally made Pepe's and I never, it was so funny. It took me forever to figure that out. But then when I was at the conference and I met the other artists and Skrilla and like Tommy and stuff, and I don't know. All of a sudden, I was inspired and I made it and I figured it out. So, Scarcity is actually doing a little Pepe Fest next week. They're going to be auctioning off Pepe's, and I do have a one of one that I'm really excited about. But there's this whole funny secrecy thing and all the fakes and this, this whole simulation thing. So, I don't know if I can talk about my other Pepe's, but anyway, it's out there. And so stay tuned. Um, and then my brand, yeah, I mean, I want to become like the Bitcoin beachwear brand, and I want to have stuff for the whole family. I'm actually thinking about some like fun little Pepe PJs for the kids and like, I don't know. I mean, I want to create that. I want to create like, yeah, we're going to El Salvador, we're going to the coast or whatever. Bitcoin, like BTC Aloha. Let's spread more aloha. Let's spread more aloha. I'm also too. I also do fine art photography, and so I'm about to launch a site where you can actually order prints online. And it's taken me like I can't believe it's taken me like 30 years to figure this out, but I finally have figured it out, and so that's going to be launching soon, and so that's going to be really sweet, so that friends all over the world can actually get a print or whatever. So, yeah. So there's that. And yeah, I'm going to El Salvador, adopting Bitcoin. I made a special collage for that. I actually cut out all these tiny little Bitcoin symbols. I mean, it's funny because sometimes collage, when it's done, people are just like, "Oh, that's so cool, cool, whatever," and you're like, "Oh my god, that took me like 100 hours of cutting out tiny little." I mean, artists know this, right? That's the gift, right? We're magicians. We make everything look so easy, but it's like, hours of totally nutso concentration and passion and pain. So yeah. So anyway, adopting Bitcoin is next, and I'm definitely looking forward to May too. And if Dennis somehow hears this, um, I want to make something kind of fun and special for Vegas. So okay, yeah, I guess that's it.
That's a lot there. That's world domination there, or at least domination for the coasts. Um, that's absolutely awesome. And I've no doubt when I'm heading down to well, I guess the British seaside's slightly different to Mexico and that, where we only have 2 days a year and we have donkey rides. And that's what makes us special on the beaches. I'll be wearing or thinking of the wonderful time that you're having there in BTC, the BTC Aloha vibes, and the energy that you've brought today. Um, I'm I just want to say thank you very much. As this has been an amazing conversation. Really, I feel fully energized, and you're a very amazing spirit with lots of great energy, and it's been an absolute joy talking to you this evening.
Yeah, thank you, 100%. And thank you all who showed up and listened. And I just appreciate all of you for being here. Yeah, from my heart. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have been listening to Naomi, which is C is Medicine. Naomi, just before we wrap up, can you just tell people where to go to check out your incredible artworks and your clothing as well?
Yes. So BTC Aloha dot shop. Yeah, dot shop. Just like straightforward. I have a link to my art there, and then I have all the beachwear that I'm working on. I also have Naomi Olson Photo.com. I have a Twitter account too. I'm on all the socials. I'm actually trying to figure out how to narrow down the socials because I'm going crazy with all of them. But yeah, btcaloha.shop.
Thank you so much, Naomi. You have been listening to the Art of Freedom here on this wonderful Monday evening, daytime, wherever you are. Just want to say thank you very much for joining us this evening. Hope you really enjoyed this conversation. We're back here every single week, normally with my co-host Flo. She sadly she couldn't be here tonight, but Flo, we're looking forward to getting you back as soon as we possibly can. I did say that we're back every Monday. We're not back next Monday though. We are back kind of the Thursday after, because we've got this little known artist that you may have heard of in the Bitcoin space called someone called Fractal Encrypt. Don't know who he is. But he's coming on the show on the 31st of October. That's a Thursday night, and we're going to be talking about his incredible art, and give you a little bit of a preview into the Adopting Bitcoin gallery, which I know a lot of artists in this room are actually exhibiting that. It's going to be a really cool interview with a really cool artist, and I really look forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, if you want to get in touch with the show, we're on Telegram. That's the Art of Freedom. You can chat there and post stuff up there. I know like Modio Tech and Ariel and CA and a few others that are in the room. They're on it as well. So come say hi in there. But that's it for this week. The last thing for me to say is just go out, um, have an amazing week, and create something awesome. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.